Thank you for watching our video. This show is sponsored by DreamStream. DreamStream is a unique platform where creators can monetize their video content. All creators rely on support from people like you. Join us on the DreamStream platform to support your favorite creator and view the episode without any adverts. Follow the link in the description for a how-to guide. DreamStream, a place where you can create yourself.
Welcome to the Real Queer Talk with myself, Toloaham Daung. Today, we've got another interesting episode. We're going to have a conversation with my guest, and today I'm joined by a publicist and entertainment news commentator and a vibrant writer, I must say, and an inspiring host with passion for everything showbiz. And the name of my guest, it is none other than Romney Lishiba.
Thank you for having me.
It's such a pleasure.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this to happen, hey?
It's been long overdue.
But you're here, and that excites me that you're here, that we're going to talk about your journey, really,
Yes.
in the showbiz space, right? But before we start, what are your pronouns?
I don't really like labels.
Yeah,
I identify as he, him,
okay.
just because I'm non-binary, and my fellow non-binary people identify as they and them.
Yeah.
I've recently just added those two.
Okay,
But he, him, they, them, that's it.
yeah,
Yes.
done.
Done.
Okay, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So entertainment space, you got into it, and I must say you are thriving in it. Can you take us back, or how, when, what sparked? Okay, let's put it this way: what sparked the interest to want to be in the entertainment or showbiz space?
I would say it's something that started when I was very young. I was just a happy child, and all over the show, everywhere I go, I was just that child who always wanted to be in the center stage.
Aha.
Yes, because I just loved being seen. And from performing in drama classes to joining a dance club back at home, and moving to Gauteng after matric, I frequented a lot of state theater. Every show that was happening there, I would be there during my varsity days.
Yeah.
And one time it happened that CMP, Clive Morrison Production, was shooting the SEFTAS Awards. And they were looking for students to assist as like ushers and assisting the production. And I happened to be there on that night. And I made connections. I fell in love with the industry. I loved every aspect of the production, and then the rest is history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. And it's quite interesting that, given the history that you've just shared, one would have expected that you'd have pursued a career in acting, whether being in theater or, behind the camera. But you are a blogger as well,
Yes.
and not just a blogger. You have amazing writing skills. I must put it that way. Like I enjoy every time, reading your pieces, and the manner in which they're also written and the kind of English that you use, it's not just, right?
I think the writing aspect came later.
Okay.
When I finally realized I don't really like the limelight, even though when I'm out, I seem to attract it. But I'm more of a behind the scene person.
Yeah.
And writing is always something I do every chance I get. It's like my escape zone.
Oh.
When I can't express myself fully, I will just write a piece to try and express my emotions and how I'm feeling at that moment.
Yeah.
So today also feels a little bit awkward because I'm used to being on the other side.
Yeah.
So now that I have to be the one answering the questions,
Look,
but I get it.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm more of a writer and interviewing people, the
Yeah.
celebrities, the who's of South Africa. So
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, no, look, I appreciate the fact that you allowed yourself to get out of your comfort zone, so you can see this superstar that you are. Because everywhere I see you, there's always something outstanding about you, whether it's how you dressed, or just your jewelry, or accessory. But it's more of you make an intention to be seen.
I think fashion for me has always been my biggest weapon. I have a certain eye for fashion, and I find myself in fashion spaces, not intentional, but because the people behind the fashion industry, the fashion designers would even sometimes just approach me to say, okay, I've made this piece and I think you would carry it better.
Yeah.
And if it's something that speaks to me and it's something that I would wear, I go for it. I've just always loved fashion.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you don't seem to believe in the whole thing of being boxed in terms of
No.
what you can wear or
No.
what you cannot wear. I mean, you wear dresses, you wear pieces, small pieces, different colors. You basically like go out of the box. You explore different things.
Like I said, as somebody who's non-binary, I think the future is fluid. And I think the fashion space is fluid.
Yeah.
Like, I don't shop in department stores. I walk in a store and walk everywhere. If I find a beautiful skirt that I like, I'm buying it. If I find this very masculine suit that the fashion industry would then maybe put it in a men's department,
Yeah.
I would pick that suit and maybe go style it on someone who's very feminine. So for me, fashion it's just garments. They don't have gender.
Yeah.
We just have to carry them the way you want to carry it.
Do you feel or think that perhaps you are in the showbiz space, it's a bit easier for you to embrace that versus a person, let's say, that works in the corporate, or maybe that somewhere in the township where perhaps fashion is not as advanced as it is like here in Joburg?
Totally. Because comparing my upbringing back at home in Limpopo and when I'm finally like based in Gauteng, there are items of clothes that I still feel today, I can't wear these when I'm back at home because people are not gonna receive me the way they perceive me.
Yeah.
So it gets a little bit political, and there's a lot of controversy around how people should dress in a normal society, which is something that I don't believe in personally.
Yeah.
So I've outgrown a lot of things, like how I want people to perceive me or societal norms. I don't do those anymore. Like you said, I am very hard to box.
Yeah.
So I'm one of the people who today I could be very feminine. So I believe my personality is just a marriage of both masculine and feminine energy.
Yeah.
That is who I am.
Oof. And what did it take for you to get to that point? Because for other people, it's like, I want to wear heels, but ish, what will people think? I want hair, I want makeup, but ish, what will people think? Or people do it, but in closed doors.
I think for me, it was from when I was young. I was just a happy child. I never experienced like homophobia that much because from when I was very young, everybody around my community knew that I'm a different boy.
Yeah.
So I was always accepted as that boy who is just himself. Uh, Even at school, sometimes I would, on a casual day, I'll just decide, okay, I'm wearing the ladies' uniform. And it was accepted. So it was never scary for me to jump out and be myself. I do believe it's a bit difficult for other people because of where they come from. But honestly, I don't have that experience of being marginalized or discriminated, homophobia. It's things that I've learned about later in life. Like, oh, okay, so me being like this now, it makes
Problem for
people
other
uncomfortable.
people. Yeah.
And for what reason, I still don't know.
I like that.
I still don't
For
know.
what reason?
Yes.
We yet to find
Yeah.
out, perhaps.
Because if me being me makes somebody else uncomfortable, maybe there's something wrong with that person.
You know, Lebo said something which I found very profound on the Real Housewives of Joburg. And she said she is of the opinion that if a person is uncomfortable with a queer
Who you are.
person, it means there's something about them that
Totally.
could be similar
Totally.
to that,
So-
but they now trying to push this one away so that
Exactly.
this cannot be triggered.
It's basically internalized homophobia. You see yourself in me and you just cannot find it in yourself to leave you, the one that is fighting you inside you. So it's a freedom issue because of, I always blame the upbringing and where you come from. Because being queer and being raised in a family that doesn't know what is queer, obviously it's foreign for your parents. So they don't know how to deal with this child. And they don't know how to go and present this child that is different to the community that they are in. So it's a challenge because it's no longer your challenge alone. It's your challenge, your family's challenge, your community's challenge. So queer is, it should just be normal.
It should just be normal. I love
Yes.
that. I mean, driving here this morning on the news, apparently in Brazil, they have now passed the law that whoever that is being homophobic or saying
Discriminate.
but I can't remember the right words, but basically like hate speech, you know, around queer people is now being criminalized.
Oh, wow.
And I thought to myself, this is such transformation because
We need
that it's human rights that we're talking about here, and if they're not embraced as any other, then it means there's a problem there.
Exactly.
You know, and I think in Africa we still have a long way to go, right, in terms of dealing with such. I want us to go back to what you do best, which is writing, right?
Yes.
You've shared with us where it comes from, you know, and you now have a blog,
Yes.
and it's a blog that has been there for a while. It's doing so well. Can you tell
Yes.
us more about the blog?
When I started blogging, it was a rushed decision because there used to be a very popular like platform that is like mine. But it happened that the whole group that started the platform, Just Curious, Lelo, she decided she's now focusing only on tourism and hospitality and travel. And after she left, Kiki and Zolani started to do the writing for Just Curious.
Okay.
And then Kiki moved to New York. Zolani was running But it happened that Just Curious had to just shut down. He was now running Ziba Entertainment.
Okay.
And as I joined him, he's like, yo, I am throwing down the pen. I'm not going to do this anymore. And I'm like, I just started and I want to do this. So is this now a call for me to go and do this independently? But I still wanted to learn more from him.
Yeah.
And I just went and go ahead and started fashioning modern Africanism. And I was like, let's do this.
Yeah.
And mine is to
On my feet, the underdog, and I won't be beat. Turn the lights up now, welcome to the show. I ain't never
Are you a musician?
all I know. My eyes on the prize until I die. I'm gonna rise.
The Dream Stream Music Studio is now available on Sundays for only 295 rands per hour.
We work for a ball in line. We gon' give it all until the end, until the end of time.
It includes a 12-channel desk, a variety of mics and cables, electronic drum kit, and a laptop for recording. Terms and conditions apply and booking is essential. Contact studio at dreamstream.co.za for a site visit.
clap for the Showbiz contributors, and it may be actors, musicians, and influencers. So it's just been like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
The ups, the downs, but so far it's picking up and we're doing good. We're doing good. We're getting the recognitions, the right ones, even though there's like a little bit of criticisms here and there, but we're on the right track.
Yeah.
Yes.
The name Fashion Modern Africanism, right? What inspired the name?
The name came about how I want to see Africa in like the next 10 years. And this was it was in, I think, 2020.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, what would I like to see on the showbiz being reported about entertainment? And I wanted it to be different.
Okay.
So I went with fashioning modern Africanism based on the fact that firstly we are in Africa and the world is changing. We are a modern society, but we can't forget where we come from as Africans.
Yeah.
So as somebody who loves fashion, so I was like, okay, let me give it a twist. I am about fashioning modern Africanism. Yes.
That's a great story behind that.
Thank you.
And I think one of the things that I like about it is that it's so up to date.
Yes.
Because every time you go, it's current stuff that you're covering, and also, you know, the manner of telling a story. I think we miss that a lot in other media platforms, where you find it's more of a shwashu kind of style, or it's more of a gossip kind of style. Are you intentional about that, or
Very much so.
and why is that?
I don't do tabloids. I'm all about clapping for everyone who is doing good and great things and collaborating with other people. So mine is to just clap and say, hey, Tolo, I see you. You're doing good. And come, let's celebrate your work.
Yeah.
That's me. I'm not about writing negative stuff about other personalities. No.
And you keep consistent as well. How
Yes.
are you able to do that?
It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of hard work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sleepless nights, and it takes a lot because sometimes I just don't have the creative juices to write, and I'll keep it on hold. If it's not coming, it's not.
Yeah.
Then wait and do something that is maybe inspiring at that moment.
Okay.
And also getting a lot of press releases about what is happening and who's doing what, and following a lot of media personalities to find out what's really hip and happening now. That inspires me to keep going,
Yeah.
because I don't want to miss out also. I want to also update my readers and my followers about the stuff that they want to know that maybe they cannot get access to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And working with brands, right? And I've seen that you're working with different brands.
Yes.
How challenging or how easy has it been for you? Because as a person who manages an online radio station, there's always that, you know, uncertainty that can we get value out of working with you, and you know, how are you able to get around that?
When it comes to brands, for me is it a brand that I can resonate with? That's the first question I ask myself. And do I believe in, say for an example, the campaign and the motive around the campaign? Then if it's something that is relatable for myself, I jump in.
Yeah.
So obviously there are other brands that I have declined working with because I cannot relate. It's something that doesn't speak to what I believe in and my values. So it gets very confusing, because you could be looking at a check and you're thinking, "Ooh, money! Who doesn't love money?
Exactly.
I want it now."
And we
but
want it more every time.
the longevity and the brand value, am I aligning my brand to this brand? Do I want to be associated with this kind of motive that they are trying to push? So it gets really confusing. So you must have your head straight all the time to not just jump on each and every campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what are some of the highlights, you know, from the achievements that you were able to gain along the way, that you can say, you know, this is one of the ones that I'm proud of the most?
Advertising? No. Yeah, but there's quite a few, right?
Yeah.
There's quite a few. I will mention a fashion designer, a good friend of mine that just one day gave me a call and is like, "You know what? If there's somebody who I believe carries my brand well, is you." And I've never had, it was at a point where I've never experienced someone who believed in me so much. So him saying to me, "Come, Romney, here is CDT collection.
Yeah.
Come in anytime and pick whatever you want to wear and let's collaborate if you want something." Because as a fashion enthusiast myself, I also come with ideas of looks that I want to put together. And if I can run it through Lisedi as a fashion designer, and he can then bring out the garments, and I will be able to wear it and carry it. That is the collaborations that makes me very proud.
Amazing stuff. And I think those are some of the perks of being in the
industry.
showbiz, right?
Yes.
And some of that is going to different events, probably throughout the week even, you know.
Every week.
Yeah. And how are you able to keep up? Because, I mean, Joburg, it's busy on its own, and showbiz, it's even worse, because there's always something happening, whether it's a launch of something or it's a premiere of something, but there is always something happening. How are you able to keep up with all of that?
It's chasing content.
Ah.
Chasing content, and in as much as we all shy away from saying we want to remain relevant, if you're going to stay home, you're going to miss out and people are going to forget about you.
Yeah.
So you have a brand that you must push and you must just avail yourself every chance you get so that you remain relevant.
Yeah.
Because this industry, you can be hip and happening today, and tomorrow there's somebody else and they have forgotten about you.
So true.
Yes.
So true. And in terms of the future, where is Romney heading besides the work stuff? Let's talk personally.
Personally,
Where are you heading?
I'm
Headed to, rather.
heading towards television production and hosting live shows. I've learned so much in the past years.
Yeah.
So it is time for me to like go and give back. I would like to one day have someone that I could mentor and take through the journey of being in this industry. Be it behind the scene or somebody who just want to pursue their dreams in the industry. That will be the cherry on top of one of my dreams.
Amazing stuff.
Thank you.
And with the blog,
Blogging, it's... I don't know if I should say it, but...
it's a safe space. You can say it.
We are getting into more motion pictures now.
Okay.
Production is becoming a little bit difficult in terms of writing and putting together articles, and because I am now trying to venture into motion pictures.
Okay.
Doing films, TV, and I'll still write, but I'll be writing in those spaces.
Okay.
I'll try my best to keep the blog running. But it's getting really hectic now.
Oof.
Yeah.
That sounds like exciting growth.
It is, because for production companies to say yes, it's a big step. So obviously it comes with big responsibilities and it's time consuming. So for me, I've just been running the blog all by myself.
Yeah.
So unless I find someone fit who could assist, but for now, it's just me doing all these things all by myself.
Yeah, amazing stuff. Wish you all the best.
I appreciate
it. Wish you all the
Yours.
best. But I know that you're going to do your thing. You've proven yourself so far. So you're definitely going to do your thing right there. Romney, thank you so much for making time to come and speak to us and share with us your journey to being the Romney that we see today. We really appreciate your time and wish you all the best in the future.
Thank you.
We'll be following you and checking out everything that's coming up.
Thanks for having me. It was a lovely, lovely experience for me.
Yeah.
Being on the other side.
And that's what I appreciate, that you allowed yourself to get out of your comfort zone.
It's always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Yes.
A great pleasure speaking to Romney today about his journey from childhood, starting to act there. Then that sparked the interest in entertainment. And in wrapping up, as we usually do, we're looking at the myth and the fact. And the myth that I have for you is people who are lesbian, gay, and bisexual work and live in only certain type of situations. The fact is, queer people identified, or rather people that are identified as queer, belong to all ethnic and racial groups, and they are members of all religious communities. They exhibit a range of mental and physical capabilities, and they can be of all ages as well. So they're not really limited to anything. They can be in any space at any moment in time. So what needs to be done is just to embrace the human being that is in front of you for who they are. So thank you once again for tuning in. We trust that you enjoyed. Remember that you are able to get in touch with me to get the conversation going. I am Tolo_Mutaung on all social media platforms. So you can even tweet and we can start a conversation there. So The next one is coming. Again, we have another brilliant guest, and we're having interesting topics. So I just need you to keep on tuning in.